Great Garloo was a toy that Robin knew that when my parents, there was a TV commercial that was Great Garloo. And what it was is, when I was a little boy, all of a sudden they had this series of robots that came out you could buy as toys. And the commercial was so awesome. There was this big green thing that looked like the Hulk.
For every kid who has ever seen a science fiction movie, thrilled to the amazing strength of an out-of-this-world movie monster, comes Great Garloo by Marx. Garloo the mighty. Garloo the untamed. Garloo the terrible. Who can stop him? Who can control this monstrous creature? You can, kids, because Great Garloo by Marx is yours to command. With these battery-operated controls, you can make Garloo go, stop, bend, pick up, turn. Yes, Great Garloo, almost 2 feet tall, will be your faithful servant. You name it, you're the boss. Bring out-of-this-world excitement into your house, kids. Own the most fantastic toy of all. Great Garloo by Marx.
And he was a robot, and he could do he had all kind of powers. And in the commercial, it make it look like he's almost like human, So I started nagging my parents like months before my birthday. I want to have Great Garloo. Because I thought if I had this robot, I wouldn't be so lonely. Like this would be my robot.
Your best friend.
It's very cool, and it
sounds a little Chucky-ish.
Yeah, and it could lift. Yeah, it's very Chucky. It could lift stuff. It could do all kinds of things. So finally, my birthday comes. My father reluctantly got me Great Garloo. He goes, I can't stand this Great Garloo. I didn't know why he was upset. He was really upset about Great Garloo. And my mother was like, that filthy, dirty Great Garloo. And what are you doing at Great Garloo?
Collecting dust.
Yeah, so Great Garloo comes. And then I get it. And it's this robot that is attached with this gigantic wheel. And it has a control, but the control is attached to the robot. It's not even like a remote control.
Right.
Yeah. And quite frankly, if you tugged on the remote too hard, the whole fucking Great Garloo fell over.
He was commercial lied to you.
It was because in the commercial he was climbing over sand dunes. And, well,
it's gigantic and it's ugly. I've seen them.
Yeah, and Great Garloo wore a loincloth. It was some cheap piece of shit, and he had a necklace that was a cheap piece of shit. So, then
put it in a time capsule, and they'll find it like that doll in the Planet of the Apes.
All right, who cares? Mr. Gazoo and Mr. Gazoo. But anyway, I get this Great Garloo, and now, like within a day, I was humiliated because it was so boring to play with.
It didn't do anything.
All it could do was bend over from the waist and pick shit up, and then it could barely pick up anything. Like if it had to pick up like a ping pong ball, he couldn't hold on to it.
Were you embarrassed to show your parents that you weren't that into it?
No. So what happened was the neighbor next door used to beat me up all the time. This kid, Johnny, Italian kid. And he got a robot, but it wasn't Great Garloo. It was a different robot that shot balls out of its hands.
That sounds cool.
And so the one day he didn't beat me up, he said, hey, why don't you fight me with your Great Garloo? Let Great Garloo and this other robot fight. And I was like, finally, I'm going to fucking win a fight. All I know is I forget the name of his robot. It was another popular thing.
Right.
Garloo goes up. I go up. Garloo got his ass kicked. Oh. This thing was shooting rockets at him. Even my robot got beaten up.
Your plastic robot.
Oh, my God. I took that robot. I never looked at it again. And then, of course, that's the one time my father was happy. He was like, I bought that Great Garloo. You had to have it. And then, look, it's sitting there. We should throw the whole thing out. That's right. All it's doing is collecting dirt and filth. It's like with that Garloo. He was hucking me in China with Great Garloo. That Great Garloo, fat, filthy, dirty.
Robin, these are the memories you want to bring back up?
Yeah, Robin bought me one.
Story like
Great Garloo. And my father would never call him Great Garloo. He'd be like, that Garloo. Garloo. And he hated that Garloo. Because, like, you know, whatever my dad's best year, he made $25,000 and just spend, like, I don't know, $150 on a Garloo that I didn't even look at. And he watched he stared down that Garloo.
Of course. What does he do with that
Garloo? And then Garloo had a compartment in the back where the batteries were, and I just started storing my cigars and cigarettes back in the Garloo's ass.
Nice.
Yeah, because...
Look, let me tell you, when he told me the story, this was his favorite toy.
Favorite toy? I have PTSD from Garloo.
Speaking of favorite toys.
When the day came that they threw out that Garloo, and I wouldn't admit it. Like, I'd be like, Mom, I still play with Garloo. And she'd be like, no, you don't. I said, please don't throw it out. I'm going to play with Garloo.